Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot, and this is my YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so lovely to have everyone here. In today's video, we are going to be doing a pick a group tarot reading. It is a love reading. It's been a while since I've done a love reading, to be fair. I have low-key missed them. And I am very, very, very excited to get you guys into your groups and to hopefully help you find a group that is genuinely going to offer you more information. The idea behind this reading was to really get a bigger picture of your love life right now. I thought, I don't just want to do a regular how are they feeling, how are they thinking, like what's going on. I thought, let's do a big picture spread reading. We're going to have a look at everything. We're going to have a look at what the main theme in your love life is currently. We're going to have a look at what the main challenge in your love life is currently, at your current energy towards your primary love interest. We're going to have a look at your love interest's primary energy towards you. We're going to have a look at your connections status right now. We're also going to have a look at advice. I will be having a look at what is shifting between you and this person. Depending on your group will depend on how in depth I go with that. I just kind of do that intuitively. It wasn't something that was rostered in. It just depends on your group. That being said, there's also going to be an extended reading for each of the three groups, where if the first part of this reading really resonates for you, we'll take it a little bit further by exploring more of the theme, is this connection in your best interest? Now, we have to figure out who that connection is first, which is where this YouTube reading comes into play. This is where we'll figure out who your love interest is and how they're what their energy is towards you. But in the extended, we're going to be exploring more of your love interest's current feelings towards you, their intentions and their fears. We're also going to get more channeled messages from them. We're going to get lots and lots of channel messages actually. And then I'll be asking Spirit the golden question, is this connection in your best interest, before we close your reading with advice. So that'll be the extended reading. Now, I do just want to quickly say something before we get you into your groups. I have like a little spiel that I want to say before I introduce these groups to you. Spirit, we ask you to aid us in connecting with our higher self through the stream of collective consciousness. We understand that we are the makers of our destiny, and we ask that you help us find the path that aligns with our highest possible outcome. Please connect us to the group that will offer us the most relative and important information, so that we may use this information for our highest good. With that out of the way, let me introduce your three groups to you. So, asking Spirit about your love life. If you resonate with this deck, you will be a part of Group 1's reading. So this deck is the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck. I'm not going to show you the cards. I just want you to take in the features on the back of the card. So all these decks have one thing in common. They have a black back. I wanted to kind of keep it a bit moody. I'm having a goth-themed birthday party this year, so I've been really digging this sort of black vibe and the protective energy of the color black in general. So if you resonate or feel drawn to this tarot deck, the Mystic Mondays tarot deck, you will be a part of Group 1's reading today. Next we have Group 2. And for Group 2's deck, we have the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck. This deck is also on a black back, but it has this gold foil on the front. A lot of imagery, so pause the video if you need more time to absorb all of that. But if you feel drawn to this deck, you will be a part of Group 2's reading today. And next, which is also last, we have Group 3 over here with the True Black Tarot deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. Same thing, black background, but this one is embossed with some shiny black overlay, so that's how you get that kind of shimmer in certain lights. I love using this deck. It's just not always a practical choice because it doesn't show up well in the camera sometimes, but if you feel drawn to this deck, then you will be a part of Group 3's reading with the True Black Tarot. So pause the video if you need more time, my sweet souls. If you want more help in selecting a group intuitively, I do have a quick 1-minute meditation that will play after this clip. That meditation is aimed at connecting you with your intuition so that you can intuitively select a group that is most helpful for you. I hope that when you are ready, when you feel confident, don't force yourself to find a group. Make sure you feel confident before you pick one. And when you do know which group you're feeling most drawn to, click on the timestamp in your description box. Check out your bonus songs if you have time, as those songs will have additional messages for you in the lyrics, and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi Group 1 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot from why did I say it like that? From the pick a group portion of your reading, then this is going to be your group's reading. Welcome Groupus Onepus. I usually say Groupus Tupus, so I just felt like I had to include y'all. In today's reading, we are going to be asking Spirit all about your love life, basically, asking for as much information as possible. I have no idea what's going on with my accent. I'm not too sure what that's about, but I am Australian. I just apparently have a lot of different accents in my head. So, all about your love life. We've got a lot to cover. I'm going to be shuffling your beautiful deck to do a 6-card spread, which will tell us all about your love life. We're going to be clarifying each of the cards with more tarot just until I feel that we've gotten enough information. I'm going to try to get as specific as I can. Keep in mind this is a general reading, and literally thousands of people watch these readings, so I'll do my best to get as specific as I can, but if you need further clarification, I highly recommend that you get a personal reading from a reader you trust. At the time that I'm posting this video, I am not doing personal readings. I need to take a break, recalibrate, and just make sure that I'm available when I'm more available, basically. I don't have much capacity this month, but there are amazing readers out there, so many people to choose from, so make sure that you jump on Etsy or you do your research on YouTube, see which of your readers are offering readings. There's other sites as well online that are quite reputable, that could offer you a platform to access good psychic readers as well. Now, there will be an extended for each of the readings. Your group's extended will be looking at whether this connection is in your best interest, your person's intentions, feelings, and fears about you, towards you, the channeled messages from them, and we'll be getting advice as well. If you're not sure who your person is, i.e. maybe you're dealing with multiple love interests, or maybe there is nobody in the picture at the moment, we're going to address that in this part of your reading. We're going to have a look at who the primary love interest energy is for you. All right, let's get into it. Enough chit chat. Spirit, tune me into Group 1's energy. Tune tune me into group one's energy. Oh, my heart, my heart. I felt it in my head at first, third eye awakening and then heart chakra awakening. But it was a bit high. Usually my heart is down here, kind of between the breasticles. That was a bit higher. It was starting to come up the chest a little bit. So there's a bit of fear in this heart. This heart is overthinking a little bit. But let's get into it, shall we? Spirit, tune me into group one's energy. What is the main theme in their love life right now? The main theme. The main theme in your love life is the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. What is their main challenge in their love life? Your main challenge is the Three of Swords. What is their love interest, their main love interest's current energy? We have the Princess of Swords. What is group one's current energy? We have the Knight of Swords reversed. What is this connection's status? We have the Hermit card upright. And what is the advice? We have the Hierophant reversed. Let me center this spread a little bit so it's more aesthetically pleasing for y'all. Because trust, I know what it's like watching a reading and the cards are not centered. It can be a little bit frustrating. At the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Swords upright. Wow, let me just tune into the overall energy and then I will clarify. I just want to say that when it comes to your energy, I feel like as a group, you're all kind of getting through a difficult cycle in love. Now, it may vary for each of you, but the Nine of Swords at the back of the deck, this is a cycle in which you have been in your head a lot. You have been having to trust and you have been having to confront fears. You've also realized some things about yourself. That's probably that heart chakra awakening and that third eye activation. It feels like you've had to really tune in to some uncomfortable feelings in order to be more aware of the fact that, wow, there's actually some other stuff going on here. There's actually something deeper than what I thought, and I need to address this first. It feels like this Nine of Swords is feelings of regret and guilt even in your love life at the moment as you sort through some thoughts and some feelings. Now, the main theme in your love life is this Queen of Wands, and this Queen of Wands is trying to tell you, group one, that your love life needs attention. Your love life needs your internal attention. Your love life needs your internal validation. And your love life is distorted currently by the external validation of others. It feels like there is a lot that you have to offer, but you're struggling to see that from within. And you're heavily influenced by external expectations and validation towards your efforts, your behavior, your image, your beauty, and how much you deserve. I feel like the Queen of Wands reversed is a major lesson in like self-worth, in confidence, and also, to be honest, there's something about your physical appearance here that you may have a physical insecurity that was being highlighted through a connection. Like maybe this person made you uncomfortable about something you're not usually uncomfortable about, or they re-triggered an old wound about your appearance that you haven't felt in a while. It feels like there's some sort of physical insecurity here with the Queen of Wands reversed. This lesson has a lot to do with how much we rely on external sources for validation of what we deserve, what we're worth, and what we're worthy of in terms of receiving. Is there anything else they need to know about their lesson in love right now? Your main theme, not so much your lesson, but your main theme. Is there anything else? Spirit's saying this is also about attraction and the fact that vibrations attract many different things. You don't always attract things that are exactly on your vibration. Sometimes you attract things that are just sort of picking up on certain frequencies you put out. And what they're showing me are sound waves, and how some sound waves go really sort of, they're really sort of slow and they're big. And when you look at them on the chart, they have these sorts of big highs and big peaks, big lows, big peaks. And then you have sound waves that are more sort of higher, and they kind of have smaller peaks, but every now and then those two sound waves interact and they cross over. And I feel like that's what's happened for a lot of you. Your main theme is that you've attracted something that only sees parts of you. You've attracted something that is attracted to parts of you instead of the whole thing. So what else do they need to know about this main theme in their love life? They're showing me the Six of Cups reversed. So there is this theme of things that are from your past resurfacing in both helpful and unhelpful ways. There is this theme of prioritizing important connections, but there's also this theme of not getting too attached to phases. And I feel like the Six of Cups is always a warm feeling of coming home and nostalgia and memories, but when it's reversed as a theme, it almost feels like nostalgia is the only thing holding you on to something right now. There is a theme here about your past and getting attached to something that once was, rather than something that is currently happening for you in the present. I feel like this theme has a lot to do with that Queen of Wands reversed and seeking that sort of validation to be able to continue to move forward. Now, I want to have a look at your main challenge. We'll get that out of the way and we'll refer back to your main challenge as we talk about you and your love interest. Your main challenge is the Three of Swords. So I feel like this Three of Swords has a lot to do with you having difficult conversations and talking about things as they enter your mind, especially when it comes to the future, especially when it comes to, well, how are we going to be able to move forward from here? What do you want? I feel like these conversations are uncomfortable, but they are necessary. And the Three of Swords as a challenge can almost be trying to explain your side of the story in a situation in which two sides or more exist. And because of that, we may feel like we're hurting somebody else's feelings by saying, like, this is what I see for me, and it may not be what you see, but this is what I see and this is what I need to go with. There is a difficult conversation here about where your love life is headed, in which you and somebody else need to communicate what you see, your perspectives, and your desired intentions. I do believe that this is a main challenge because it's uncomfortable. But let's see what else we can pull. Why is the Three of Swords a challenge for group one in their love life? And showing me the Hierophant because you want more. The Hermit was over here as well. So this Three of Swords is only really a challenge because it's a conversation that should have happened earlier. It's a conversation that is a reflection of wisdom and an understanding of value. And I feel like what you've realized is you maybe want more than what the current situation is able to give you for one way or another. You're either craving more experiences or you're craving more stability. And I think with this Hermit card here, it's only a challenge because you're having to kind of cipher through information and come from a very mature place with this communication. You're having to use your voice and your experience to communicate this with a lot of maturity. And you could be dealing with someone who's quite immature, inexperienced, or just who struggles to kind of articulate things in a mature way. I feel like this is a huge challenge because it's a decision that you've made for yourself. Despite the fact that you could be dealing with somebody else right now, you could be have plans with somebody else right now, you've made a choice and it's all about you. With the Hermit card here, the goal is isolation, introspection, and potentially just some time away from somebody. But I feel like you don't want to kind of talk about this in a way that needs to be more harmful than what it already may be. You don't want to make it worse than what it already is. So we're having to be very diplomatic, we're having to be very cautious, careful, and we're also having to, with the Hermit card here, consider how our words will have very heavy repercussions in some ways. You're trying to weigh up, well, what is it going to happen after I have this conversation? So now let's have a look at you and your love interest's energies. You both came out as air signs, so that could be significant. We do have some fire sign energy here as well, though. To be fair, Mercury is very strong, so Gemini and Virgo, but I also feel a strong Taurus influence. So there could be Taurus placements in significant signs in either of your charts. Now you're showing up as the Knight of Swords reversed. Your love interest, your main love interest, is showing up as the Princess of Swords upright. So there is a misunderstanding in terms of being able to see the situation the same. You're showing up as someone that isn't wanting to take action, that is wanting to kind of sit behind a sort of fence, and you are being very careful about what you say. You may have even blocked this person because you're needing some space. I feel like you have made it clear that you don't want to be the one to take action right now, and you have definitely slowed things down on your side if you have not blocked them completely. I do think with the Knight of Swords reversed, you've asked for the connection to slow down, especially if it's been moving quite quickly. If there's been impulsive actions in the past, or sort of really on a whim kind of move now, actions being taken in the past. I think with the Princess of Swords, however, your person is really just now getting their interest piqued by you. So it's highly likely that a lot of you may not know your love interest well, or this may be someone who you assumed had moved on from you. Your love interest is showing up as someone that's very curious about you, although your attention and interest is elsewhere right now. This person spends a lot of time thinking about you, asking about you, and potentially researching you online. They are aware of you, and they feel like they've become aware of you in a third sort of secondary environment, as though the two of you frequent the same location, and that's how they've become aware of you. They've noticed you in line at the grocery store. They've seen you fueling up your car. They've watched you kind of work out at the gym. They've seen you walk down the street. You know, it's that kind of situation. This person has just having their interest peak. With that in mind, a major challenge in your love life right now could be setting boundaries with a new person as you continue to process a previous cycle in love that did cause a set feeling of heartbreak and loss. You may be feeling like you don't know where your love life is taking you, and you're having to have these realistic expectations in mind when making decisions for yourself moving forward. But I want to clarify your energy and your primary love interest energy. Can you clarify Group 1's energy in their love life right now? Why are they the Knight of Swords reversed? Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. You're being very selective, very careful. You're not signing up for everything on, open day. You're looking for something specific. You're also very focused on your health, your stability, your career, your material world. You could have certain issues in those areas of your life that you're needing to sort through, or you'll feel distracted by those things right now. But there's definitely a feeling of you being very selective and careful about engaging with romantic love interests. It also feels like you're in an energy where you don't want to feel codependent, because you may know that you have that kind of attachment style in relationships, and you're a bit worried about moving things too quickly with the next person. You may also be feeling very anxious about meeting with this person again, or meeting them for the first time, kind of worried about like how they will perceive you, what they'll think of you. I see this energy, your energy, as being overly critical of yourself, to the point where you're not actually seeing yourself for who you are, but that's the energy you're bringing into the situation at the moment. You're kind of seeing a lot of the flaws before you see the positives and the genuinely good attributes. So how is your main love interest feeling? We have the Queen of Swords reversed. This person thinks you either don't see them or you don't give them enough attention. I see the Queen of Swords reversed as like they're looking at you as like, you know what? This person is not really paying a lot of mind to me. Like, I'm gonna have to do something to kind of get their attention. This person may be very hyper fixated on you too with the Queen of Swords reversed. They may feel like, you're just sort of warming up to each other, or it's really hard to kind of win you over, but they're very focused on you, Group 1. This person seems to spend a lot of time thinking about you and thinking about how to communicate with you. I feel like there's a lot of online sort of interactions here, whether that's actually talking to each other or more so them just checking up on you online. There seems to be a digital connection more than anything, and you're very distracted by your material world right now. So I do want to have a look at the connection status because we have the Hermit card here. So the main energy that I got with the Hermit card was that you're both just kind of focusing on yourselves right now. You're both just kind of focusing on your individual paths and processing what you've recently been through so that you can move forward. And that's what we saw up here with the Three of Swords as well. It's a challenge, but it's only because that's the main challenge you're experiencing right now. You are progressing through this naturally. It's not a blockage, it's just an obstacle, and you're overcoming it. I do think the Hermit card is more time apart or alone to be able to process what has happened recently and clear the way for something new. What else can you tell them about the connection status with this Hermit card, please, Spirit? You are most likely in separation. Communication would be very limited. We have the Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah, there's not a lot of action here. There's not a lot of action. The connection status right now is definitely at a standstill. There's still confusion around intentions, romantic feelings, and whether you are individually or dually hoping to be able to move this forward in the right direction. Because I think that your person isn't sure if you're even looking for anything at all right now. And then you're maybe not seeing them at all or assuming that they don't want anything serious. So you're not on the same page. I feel like one of you is very closed off to love and the other one is just looking at the other person going, I don't think they want me as much as I want them. What is the outcome in the near future based on their current energies? We have the Hanged Man reversed. So I do see you feeling a bit stuck and confused about how things are going because you feel blindsided. You're disconnected from your intuition in a helpful way. You're relying upon it in a dependent way. You're reading into the situation too much, which is causing confusion and making you feel more stuck than you are. The truth is, with the Hanged Man reverse, you have all the information and tools necessary to be able to move forward, but you're overcomplicating the situation by overanalyzing it and by over-seeking it. You're seeking all the tidbits of what could, would, should happen if you did this, 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 and this, when you actually just need to be it. Be present with the moment. What else can you tell Group 1 about the near future and this connection in their love life? What is going to happen in the near future? We have the Eight of Swords, feeling stuck, trapped, helpless, and like a victim in this situation. It definitely feels like you're in your head way too much in the near future, overanalyzing and overthinking it all before you even choose to step an inch out of where you've been. So your advice over here is the Hierophant card reversed. So I feel like your love life right now is trying to thaw out from a prism that it's been kind of stuck in. And it feels like the situation is trying to shift and change. It's turning from a pyramid into a square. But in order to do that, we have to kind of morph. We have to think outside the box and we have to allow instability because instability promotes change. I feel like you're going to feel very uncertain about any rockiness, any shifts, any changes, and anything that might cause instability. I can see with the Hierophant card reversed, you're going to be very, very worried about letting somebody in and letting somebody close to you. You're also questioning loyalty, commitment in the early stages of just trying to get to know somebody. And I feel like what is happening next is there is a lot that is shifting for you, but I also think that you're putting a lot of rules around it and you're making this process a lot more anxious than what it needs to be. Your advice is to more so go with the flow if you can. I know that that sounds very hard, especially with the Hierophant card reversed. It's not a go with the flow energy, but it's going to help you appreciate the shifts a little bit better by appreciating that some things do need to change and we can't just stay stuck in certain cycles of tradition and orthodoxy. Is there anything else you can tell them in terms of advice? Is there anything else you can tell them in terms of advice? We have the Fool card reverse. So absolutely don't rush. That's not your advice at all. Do not rush into a commitment, especially. Do not rush into stability. Do not rush into something new that you've never tried before. But definitely don't say no either. There is this feeling with the Fool card reversed that Spirit's saying don't do anything foolish, but also don't discredit your wisdom. You're a very wise soul, sweets. You're showing up as someone that spends a lot of time thinking, reflecting, and analyzing. You've been through enough to have a good head on your shoulders, as well as having a strong connection to Source through your intuitive abilities. As your third eye awakens, you need to really trust that what you're seeing is enough for you to be able to make informed decisions. And if something feels foolish, it probably is. Think about how the situation is making you feel and go with that gut instinct. I also think with the Fool card reverse, Spirit is saying don't rush willy-nilly into a brand new chapter. If you need to slow down the pace, but don't say no altogether. Give yourself the opportunity to try before you buy, and don't get too committed too soon. Don't take it too seriously too soon. Have fun with the process of opening yourself up to somebody again and potentially exploring a new aspect of life with someone again. I do believe that your material pursuits should be taking priority. And as long as your priorities are straight, you still have time for love. It's not a case of this or that. It's a case of balance and harmony and just trying to find balance and harmony within your lifestyle. You deserve love, you deserve connection, you deserve romance, but it's all about balance with you. And I think that will help curb some of your fears and insecurities, is feeling as though you've got your own boxes ticked when it comes to security, stability, and health. At the back of the deck, we do have the Knight of Wands upright. So I feel like your closing message has a lot to do with that go with the flow spontaneity energy, enjoying and embracing your passions, your desires, and what is exciting to you. And that does translate through romance, but it also includes other aspects of your life, your interests, your hobbies, how you spend your free time in general. Your advice is a lot about sort of entering a situation with zeal and passion, and then trying to decipher like how far you want to take that, but trying not to think too far ahead. I know that I'm saying a lot of this but that, because I feel like I have to. I feel like you're going to overanalyze the heck out of this. You're going to look at every possible variable. So I want to cover things on my end and just tell you, be spontaneous without thinking too far ahead. Be, aware of the fact that this does have repercussions, but you only can do the best that you have with the information that you have. You can only do the best that you can with the information that you have. I feel like I'm just talking myself into a pit here. My Mercury placements are not strong, unlike yours, clearly. So I'm not going to over explain this anymore. That is what I'm seeing for you, Group 1, when it comes to your love life right now, or what is coming next. We covered a lot here, but I do want to extend this even further. So if the first part of your reading did resonate and you would like to extend it, your extended reading is linked in the description box. All extended readings from today's video will be on my website. In your extended reading, we're having a look at, is this connection in your best interest, Group 1? What are your person's intentions, feelings, and fears towards you? Can we get some channeled messages from them as well? And then we're going to close with more advice. What is the advice in terms of for your best interest? Because the extended reading is really about your best interest and where your love life is taking you in terms of your best interest. So if you would like to join me, the link to the extended reading is in the description box. It's all on my website under the extended readings tab on the menu. Otherwise, thank you so much, Group 1, for joining me right here on YouTube. I hope this was informative. I hope it explained where you're at currently, what you're going through, and how to get to the other side. You do have some moments in the near future in which you do need to loosen up a little bit, while also trusting what your instincts and your intuition is telling you, so that you're not missing out on opportunities, but you are throwing a bit of caution to the wind. I hope this was a helpful reading. It has been a pleasure to read for you. If it didn't resonate, you're more than welcome to try another group. Otherwise, I shall catch you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 2s, and welcome to your reading. You are here, hopefully, because you chose the, goodness, what is this deck called again, Spirit? the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck. How dare I forget? Dreamy Moons is one of my favorite creators. I love their oracle decks, and this is their tarot deck as well. It may have a hard time showing up on the camera, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that you can see all the cards as I shuffle them out. But if you chose this beautiful deck, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome, Group 2. Don't mind me while I shuffle and rattle some things off. In today's video, we're going to be asking Spirit all about your love life, trying to get as much information as possible about the current theme you're experiencing in love, the current challenge you're experiencing, how your energy is towards your primary love interest, what their energy is towards you. We're going to have a look at what your advice will be, as well as what is going to happen between the two of you in the near future. So it is a fairly extensive reading. However, there will also be an extended where we'll delve more into your love interest. So we're going to identify who that is in this part of the reading. And then the extended is really delving into their feelings for you, their intentions, what their fears may be, what do they want to say to you. And then we're asking the golden question: is this connection worth your time? Is this connection in your best interest? We'll also be getting more advice in the extended reading as well. But to get there, we have to start here. So please don't mind me while I just shuffle this a little bit more. I'm going to get my phone out too, so that I can keep track of the spread and make sure that I'm putting energy in the right places for you. Tune me into Group 2's energy, Spirit. Please help me to channel clear, honest messages for Group 2. Ensure that these messages are resonating, helpful, and as accurate as possible. That's not Spirit's problem, that'll be mine. If the messages aren't helpful, accurate, or informative, it's literally me. So Spirit, help me please. All right, let's get into it. That's right, we got to ask about your connection status too. So this kind of reading isn't really helpful if you have more than one love interest. We're going to focus on the primary love interest. So I'll try to help you. I'll pull clarifying cards in the spread to help you identify who this is if you are dealing with more than one person. So Spirit, tune me into Group 2's energy. What is the main theme in their love life right now? What is the main theme in Group 1's love life right now? What is the main theme in Group 1's love life right now? We have the Emperor reversed. I just heard let go of control. Spirit, what is their main challenge in love right now? What is their main challenge? We have the Four of Cups reversed. Interesting. How are they feeling about their primary love interest? How is Group 2 feeling about their primary love interest? A lot of reversals. We have the King of Stars reversed. This is the King of Pentacles. How is their love interest feeling about them? What is their love interest energy towards them? We have the Magician reversed. Okay. What is the connection's current status? We have the Empress reversed. And what is the advice? We have the Three of Wands reversed. A lot of reversals. Oh my days. I swear not every card is reversed, but for some reason you got a lot of them. Crazy Scorsese. How does that even happen? So bizarre. I've had this deck for a while. I've used it a lot. I shuffled it heaps, as you can see, and we still got so many reversals. Page of Cups at the back of the deck reversed. I'm going to get my clarifying deck ready. Don't mind me, I'm just shuffling while I rattle off some messages. Your main theme at the moment has a lot to do with control, knowing when to be accountable, responsible, versus when to let somebody else lead. You guys may be cardinal signs, or you could have a lot of leadership energy. You may be someone that's trying to work on leadership kind of wounds of being in the driver's seat more and trying to find a healthier balance with your masculinity in terms of your more masculine side. That being said, we have the Emperor and the Empress out here. So the goal in your love life right now has a lot to do with even and equal give and take. It has a lot to do with the right amount of accountability and the right amount of effort. And I feel like you may have attracted people who either really test this, or they may not be able to kind of joust with you, is what Spirit's insinuating. I feel like right now, your main theme in love has a lot to do with healing some parental wounds as well, healing wounds with authority. You may be having a really hard time letting somebody kind of guide you and steer you. And you may experience this in other aspects of your life as well, not just your love life. You may be having a difficult time with management in your workplace. You may be having a difficult time with friends who kind of overstep and try to be parents, or siblings that try to be parents. You may be the sibling that tries to be a parent. It just feels like the goal here when it comes to your main theme is a lot about you recognizing that there are many different ways to be successful, and one of those ways is about letting somebody else have control, so that you're not always so rigid and stoic and tightly wound. That's what this feels like. It feels like you're being tested in love to kind of let somebody else closer and let somebody have responsibility for some of the things that you're so used to doing by yourself. Now, I want to clarify, is there anything I've missed when it comes to Group 2's main theme in love before we go to the main challenge? A lot of Aries energy. We have the Tower coming out reversed now. So your main theme has a lot to do with sudden change, unexpected changes, curveballs, things happening out of your hands, and then you having to deal with the collateral. This is very frustrating. It feels very karmic. It feels very crisis mode activated, and it feels like if you have previous wounds around impermanence and instability, you're going to be very stressed out about this. You're going to feel like, why does nothing stay stable and constant? So I feel like this huge theme has a lot to do with inconsistency and how we need these shakeups in order to grow more. Otherwise, we end up micromanaging stagnant situations and we end up limiting the potential for growth. But this theme has a lot to do with control and accepting life's curveballs. Let's have a look at your main challenge in love now. We have the Four of Cups reversed. A main challenge in love for you is not missing out on opportunities as they present themselves to you. A lot of this has to do with your emotional reciprocity, Group 2, being receptive and open to people and open to what they can offer you, as well as open to what you can offer them. This is very much about your emotional being, and yet you find ways to manage it in a very practical, almost stoic sense. It feels like your biggest challenge right now is accepting help from others as well, and letting other people into your close circle, whether that's your home, in your space of your routine, letting people, wake up with you in the morning and make you that coffee, or whether that has to do with you following through on, well, yes, I'm going to meet that person for coffee, and I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to do this. It's like you got to meet the universe halfway here. And your biggest challenge in love is letting people help you and accepting offers of love towards you. I can also see how there are people in your close circle who just want to be closer to you emotionally. But I feel like the challenge is either you're in a comfort zone of knowing that you're very capable of taking care of yourself, so why would you ask for anybody else to join you? Or this has a lot to do with you feeling as though what you want isn't available to you yet, or you're waiting for that big kahuna to kind of get your attention, and you feel like you're just being offered little sort of bait fish instead of that big one. What else can you tell them about their main challenge, Spirit? Group 2's main challenge in love. I'm hearing stepping stones, so your love life may be about stepping stones right now, of getting to the big kahuna through little actions. What can you tell Group 2 about their main challenge? We have the Star card reversed now. So I feel like a lot of your challenge has to do with realizing that there's only so far you can go on your journey as a strong, capable, confident, independent individual. Not saying that that's a bad quality, but your future is about connection. And in order for you to keep healing, it feels like you've got to let people closer to you. And I think that in order for your love life to become more successful, you've got to let your love interest closer to you. It does show in their energy, but we'll talk about that next. The Star card as a clarifier is saying that there's a lot of unhealed issues from your past that are impacting your present ability to love. They're stopping you from embracing what is right in front of you. This past pain is completely limiting your ability to embrace an opportunity that is right in front of your face, because you're either projecting what has happened previously onto this situation, or you're blinded by your past experiences, which are limiting your ability to genuinely see what is available to you. You have a very active love life, but I don't know if you would believe that. I don't know if you actually see what is being dangled in front of you here. So let's have a look at your energy now. We have the King of Stars reversed. Your energy tells me that love for you is a little bit of like a, what's the best word for it? It's either transactional, like you don't expect a lot from it, or it's something that you're very cautious and careful about because it requires a lot of effort, commitment, and responsibility. The King of Stars reverse could tell me that you're not available. You're not on the market. You're very preoccupied by other responsibilities, by other material kind of pursuits, and by your own selfish desires in terms of material gain. And I use the word selfish just as a describing sort of like a verb. I don't mean an adjective, excuse me. I don't mean to kind of use it with negative connotation. It's just that this energy is very self-focused, self-absorbed, to the point where even if people got your attention, I don't think you would see them as being genuine. I think you would assume that they just want something from you. They just want you for, your career. They just want you because of some sexual gratification. I feel like you assume that a lot of the people that come towards you only just want something from you. What is Group 2's current energy towards love? What is Group 2's current energy towards love? We have the Four of Wands. You could also, like we were saying before, be waiting for that big kahuna. You could be waiting for something very stable, or you could be in a stable commitment. Some of you may have found yourselves in a situation in which you're getting attention from people outside of a commitment. You're getting attention that isn't the person that you're currently in a relationship with, and it's very confronting, and you're like, I need to not rock the boat and stay with my stable relationship. But for others of you, I feel like you're just very focused on your own peace, your own stability. I feel like you're very focused on just kind of what is here in front of you and how it makes you feel. And I do think that the reason you turn away from so many people is because you do get a lot of attention. I do think that this is a group that is very attractive, and you may present yourself as someone that has a lot to offer materially. So I think that that kind of puts you in a position to attract a lot of attention. I do think your primary love interest, on the other hand, is experiencing a lot of confidence issues. I'm seeing Gemini and Virgo really strongly, but we also have a lot of Aries energy, and we have some Taurus energy as well as Aquarius. So your primary love interest with the Magician reversed is feeling like they're losing their grip on you. They feel like they're a bit of an underdog at this point. They feel like they don't have a lot of control over the situation. They may be struggling to communicate this with you if you're in contact, because they're showing up as someone whose mask is slipping. They may have come across as very confident when you had first met. They may have even presented themselves as quite the snake charmer, really sort of silver-tongued and good with words. They are not in that position anymore. It feels like they're very much worried about how you see them, very self-conscious about what you see in them, and whether you are taking them for what they want you to see them as. I feel like this person really tried to put their best foot forward with you, and at this point in time, they feel like you're instead seeing the worst side of them. So how will group 2 recognize this love interest? How will group 2 recognize this love interest, Spirit? We have the Hierophant reverse, so more Taurus energy. This is someone who I feel most of you are not in a stable relationship with. This is someone who I feel is a bit out of the box, or you met them in very sort of unconventional circumstances. I would consider this to be like a chance meeting, or you trying something that you don't usually do, and that's how you met them. I feel like things are not stable at the moment. I feel like certain things could have been done or said in the recent past that implied that the two of you were not interested in the same things. This person feels very insecure. They feel like they don't really have a leg to stand on with you, which is a way of saying they don't feel like you're as interested in them as they may be interested in you. I also see the Hierophant reversed as you may be knowing them from some sort of organization, or you met in an organization or a structure, could have been a school even. You could have had connections to some sort of religion or spirituality, just throwing that out there for one of you out of the thousands that will watch this. But I feel like the way that you met them versus how you've kind of gotten to know them was very different. I don't think that they're the same as everyone else in that structure that you may have originally met them. Even if you met them on an online dating app, I feel like they stood out for a reason. There's something different. You either had some kind of connection outside of that structure, or they proved to be very different to what you usually go for. Is there anything else you can tell them about their love interest to help them recognize them? We have the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like this person is very busy, to say the least, group 2. I feel like there's someone who has a really busy schedule. They could be someone that has a lot of different sort of priorities that they're trying to get through at the same time. They could be someone who kind of juggled you with other things too. So it doesn't have to be other love interests, but they would have made it known that there were certain times that they couldn't see you, or they couldn't make time for you because they had other things going on. On top of that, I feel like they are someone that likes to be somewhat organized, or they're just someone that had like a busy schedule last time you spoke to them, or that you know of. They seem to be always on the go. Is there anything else you need to tell them about their love interest, their current energy? Clarifying their current energy, we have the Moon reverse. So this person is stepping out of a period of manipulation in terms of how they wanted to feel and how they wanted you to see them. I feel like they've lost control of their feelings. With the Moon reversed, it feels like they're kind of in a space where their feelings have gotten the better of them, and they're realizing some stuff that they thought wasn't real, if that makes sense. They may have spent a lot of time denying and kind of covering up those feelings as they rose to the surface, but they've recently hit a point where something's really bothering them, and it's difficult for them to ignore now. These feelings are very deep, and they're very hidden. Not a lot of people know this about this person, and I would really highly doubt it if they've communicated it with you, but this awareness of how they truly feel has definitely changed their behavior, and that's what you would have noticed. This person's behavior is very different. They've switched it up, and they've kept a lot more stuff sort of hidden out of fear of being vulnerable and expressing too much too soon. So let's look at your connection status. So because of all of this fear, all of this hidden energy, and all of this manipulation and insecurity, your connection is definitely at a standstill. With the Empress came out the Hermit card as well. I did shuffle the Hermit card back in, but I can't ignore that energy. I see that there is a huge blockage here in terms of growth and in terms of both feeling secure enough to be able to nurture this connection. You don't feel secure enough in the sense of this person did not follow through with what they said they were going to do. They may have come in with really strong sort of impression and a strong sort of presence with the Magician, and then it kind of fizzled out into insecurity. And you may not have seen it as insecurity. You just saw it as as well. They were all talk and no action. So you've instead had to focus on your own peace, your own stability, and your own comings and goings in terms of priorities, where they have recently come to grips with the fact that feelings for them run a lot deeper than they were expecting. The Hermit card that came out with this Empress is telling me that you're both being very introspective right now. You're really in your heads about this, analyzing the information, and trying to get a better understanding of what you truly think and feel for the other. I feel like you're in a very logical, practical energy, and I don't think this is bad. I think that you have spent time sort of just being more balanced with your energy, and this has helped you manage your emotions effectively. Whereas this person over here has been irrationally thinking. They've let their fears succumb to the point where they don't trust how they think and feel anymore. So they're having a lot more of a difficult time processing the situation, which is what is really heavily contributing to this stunted growth. However, your lack of interest is also contributing to this stunted growth. So Spirit, is there anything else you can tell them about the connection's current status? We have the Page of Wands reversed. So there isn't going to be much movement based on your current energy, because neither of you are wanting to step forward and push this energy forward. I do see the Page of Wands reversed as immature behavior at times, some petty behavior, some behavior that we have outgrown but we've regressed into. It's also an energy of us feeling as though our passion has been stunted. What we may have once found very alluring, exciting, and desirable has had a blockage and a full stop put in front of it. It could also feel like you losing interest because there is a lack of energy being invested in this situation. So what is going to happen in the near future between group 2 and their love interest? What is going to happen in the near future? In the near future, I do see the King of Pentacles upright, which tells me that there is going to be a very obvious display of values and of what you want in terms of worth. We have the Page of Cups at the back of the deck. What an interesting plot twist. Somebody could be apologizing. It was at the back of this deck as well, but it was reversed, which to me is a stubbornness of being against apologizing. So let's clarify what is shifting in this connection in the near future. How will they get to this King of Pentacles energy? What is shifting for this connection? We have the Three of Cups reversed. What is shifting for group 2 and their love interest? We also have that 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, it was there with the 3 of Cups. I just wasn't sure if it was meant for you. Okay, the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups upright. It's highly likely that you may end up entertaining a new love interest, group 2. Depending on how interested you are in this person, it's going to take a lot of effort on their part, because you need security, you need certainty, and you need to feel like you're being valued. Right now, you feel undervalued, underappreciated, and you feel like this person isn't taking you seriously. I do see that this connection is shifting because you are going to be taking each other more seriously. There could be a conversation around feelings, but if there is, it's very much you steering it, and because of that, this person will not tell you the depths of their feelings. They'll just kind of hint that they have feelings, and then you'll have to kind of go, oh, okay, well, yeah, like, I don't mind continuing this, but this is what I need from you. There is a feeling here of taking this more seriously and putting a bit more of like a rules and regulations onto it for the sake of getting needs met and getting quality checked. I do feel like you may have been around the mill with this person to the point where you're not willing to put up with their inconsistent pattern of behavior in the future. This Three of Cups reverse could look like eliminating other love interests and just focusing on one, but I think that for each and every one of you, that's going to vary. If this person can't fit the bill, you've got other options, group 2. And there's a lot of people with the Knight of Cups reversed lining up waiting to kind of offer you their love. With the 10 of Cups reversed, I do feel like in the near future, as much as you want to take this connection more seriously and your love life more seriously, you're also still going into your experiences with skepticism around how authentic this happy ending with your next love interest is going to be. You're very cautious about settling into something and getting your hopes up. And so you're coming in with maybe a little bit of a test that you put your next love interest through to make sure that they're serious and that they can fulfill the promises or the strong impressions that they give you. So let's have a look at your advice now. We have the 3 of Wands reversed as your advice card. So that card for me is really strongly saying that this group is going to be eliminating love options. You've got people around you, you've got this primary love energy who you're quite frustrated with, and then you've got other people as well. And I feel like what's going to happen with the 3 of Wands is your advice is to just focus on what you truly want. I do think that the world is your oyster, and that did come out in group 1 as well. This is very apparent for you by way of distraction. So you are very much in your 4 of Wands energy right now, but you need to recognize how bringing the right person in could challenge that stability in order to help you continue to grow. I do think that energy is a big thing for you. You need to feel like this person is very into you. You need to feel like their attention is on you, and you can pick up when their attention isn't. And I think that your advice is to pay attention to what the energy around you is telling you. With the 3 of Wands reversed, you could feel that this desire between you and this love interest is waning because there's not enough energy being invested. Your advice is if you want this, you're going to have to prompt the situation either through a conversation or through your own actions to keep the energy flowing. Otherwise, cut it off, turn around and find something else, because you do not have a limited amount of opportunities when it comes to your love life. But remember, putting a full stop on this will cause you to lose interest. That's what it feels like. Is there any other advice you can tell them in this situation? We have the Ace of Cups reversed. Be aware of self-sabotaging behavior. You are, by all means, a very strong, capable, independent, secure individual. However, by being that way all the time, you give this person the impression that you don't want them, let alone need them. We also have the 7 of Wands reversed. So I feel like your advice here with the 7 of Wands reversed is more about that primary message of control. We know you're capable. We know you've got it all under wraps. You're a very capable person. You know how to look after yourself. You know how to look after the ones you love, which is why you're so careful about giving your love to anybody. You also really get frustrated, I feel, with insecure energies and people who can't sort of deal with their own emotions and fears. I think that with the 7 of Wands reversed, you are being called to kind of give space for people to have the courage to approach you. But by all means, don't make it a hellstorm, you know? Don't make it the most intimidating and uncomfortable experience ever. It kind of feels like you have this intimidating gaze that you can do. And this is a very like Gemini-esque trait, whether you're a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's like this deadpan gaze of like seeing straight through somebody. And I think with the 7 of Wands reverse, Spirit's saying you don't have to enable people, or you don't have to kind of hold their hand and walk them through it. But by all means, don't just make it so difficult for people to come towards you to the point where you're turning down what you want. You can have a number of different choices, but if what you want needs that little bit more kind of compassion, maybe give it to them, is what I'm saying. I think that if you want something with this love interest, for example, you're going to have to be patient, and you're going to have to appreciate that this person has insecurities that they're battling. They have challenges in their own energy and courage that they're battling, and they do kind of want to see and know that you're still interested in them before they take things more seriously. So that's what I'm seeing for you, my groupus tupuses. I hope this reading was helpful, informative, and resonating. I'm going to take it into the be extended now. So if it did resonate and you would like to extend this reading, the link will be in the description box. The extended reading will be on my website. We're going to be covering your person's true intentions, feelings, and fears towards you. We're going to get channeled messages from them, and we're going to ask Spirit, is this connection in your best interest, group 2? We know you have other options. Is it in your best interest to give this person your compassion and patience? And we will be getting more advice in the extended as well. So if you'd like to join me, as I said, the link is in the description box. The extended reading is on my website. Now, before you go, group 2, thank you so much for all your time, your energy, and your support. It has been a pleasure to read for you, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the True Black Tarot deck over here, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. Today we're asking Spirit all about your love life. We're getting a lot of information about what is going on in your love life right now, about your primary love interest, and we're going to get lots of advice for you as well along the way. My aim with this reading is to hopefully offer you more perspective on what's going on for you currently, and then hopefully that perspective and all that information can help you feel more in control of the narrative. By having that information, I hope you feel more confident in making informed decisions about your life. Now, there will be an extended reading for your group as well. We're going to be asking Spirit in the extended reading, is this connection in your best interest? We're going to explore that by having a deeper look at your primary love interests' intentions towards you, what their feelings are, and their fears. We're going to get channeled messages from them, and then I'm going to also get advice on what you should do in terms of your best interest. So in order to get there, we have to start here. Let's start by pulling some cards in your spread. I'll be clarifying each of the cards I pull with a separate deck, and then we're going to get advice as well. So Spirit, tune me into group 3's energy. Tune me into group 3's energy. What is the main theme in group 3's love life right now? Thank you. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands. That's interesting. It's a similar theme to somebody else. I just got to check something real quick because I don't want to accidentally say what it isn't. Here we go. Yeah, she is the Queen of Wands. That's bizarre. Okay. What is the main challenge for group 3 in their love life right now? What is the main challenge? We have the 7 of Cups as your main challenge right now. Okay. What is their energy towards their primary love interest? We have the Queen of Cups reversed. Now this deck is very dark, so keep that in mind. I'll do my best to show you the cards, but it is a black deck. That's why it's called True Black. Now Spirit, what is their love interest energy towards them? What is group 3's primary love interest energy towards them? We have the Knight of Cups upright. Intriguing. The plot thickens. She thick. Thick. All right. Let us get some information about this connection's current status. Okay. We have Temperance. Oh, cute. And what is the advice? Oh, dang. The advice is the 3 of Swords. Interesting. Oh, hello. Wow, straight over the Knight too. Okay. At the back of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. Y'all are very, very, very close to a huge emotional fulfillment if you're not there already. For my group 3s, the overall energy of your love life is being aware of those that are actually contributing helpfully towards your emotions. I feel with the Ten of Cups, there's a strong feeling here of meaningful connection, of ride or die sort of energies, and just surrounding yourself with the right kinds of love. I feel like this is a group that has some really solid people around them, and your energy right now is very much about stability, openly loving and receiving and giving love, and making sure that you are showing to those around you how important they are, and they're showing to you how important you are. There's a strong feeling of this group having a community of love around them. And I think the Ten of Cups is just confirming that any efforts you've made towards connections, plural, in terms of deciphering through some heavier energies, having some difficult conversations, reestablishing healthy boundaries, and just feeding more attention into key people in your life is paying off. There's a strong feeling here of emotional fulfillment and really working towards your quote-unquote happy ending. So I feel like your main theme with the Queen of Wands reversed has a lot to do with how energy is given and received because of the other cards in your spread. Another group did get this as their main theme as well. That's why I had to kind of check with the deck, because I was thinking, is this really what we're doing? Are we really doing this again? We've already done this for another group, but your theme is slightly different to the other groups, because the Queen of Wands reversed for you reflects this feeling of being very aware of energy, highly tapped in, highly connected to those around you, and being able to understand what that energy is being transferred for. So I feel like your theme is about knowing when to pull back and give somebody the dignity to step up and give to you, versus when to kind of reach out and go like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, are you okay? I feel like this group's theme is very much about mindfulness around empathy as well, and knowing when to overstep, because you do want to take care of yourself first. And I think that this group may also be revisiting a key lesson in external validation in some way. It may not be as major as the other group, but there is a lesson here over being mindful of how reliant we are upon external energies to validate our worthiness, our sense of self, and our attraction. By getting that external validation, we may feel temporarily gratified, but we are ultimately watering something that needs to be more self-sustaining. So I do feel like with this Queen of Wands reverse, the overall theme is how energy is given and received around you, how your actions contributed to the right or wrong people lead to specific kind of outcomes. And I can see you being very aware of your energy and how much it is, like how much you can attract, how much is possible for you to attract. You're definitely getting a lot of attention right now. I think a lot of people want to be around you, Group 3. I think a lot of people want what you're currently living through, even if you're just hanging out and chilling, not really doing much. I feel like people really want to be a part of it. So your main challenge, though, is the Seven of Cups, speaking of a lot of people. If you're single, you've definitely got a lot of love offers. I think that there are a lot of people that are interested in you. I think if you're in a relationship, there's confusion around where you're taking your life next and how that will impact your love life. I think that a lot of you have big choices to make when it comes to your personal journey, and you're wondering how this is all going to be impacted by romance, or how romance is going to impact all of that. I think some of you aren't as confused as others, though. I think the Seven of Cups is just a reflection of having choice and being confronted with multiple different sort of opportunities. And for some of you, this isn't a confusing thing. This is just like, oh, cool, like I've got a few things to choose from. Whereas for others of you, you're taking this very seriously, and you may even explore certain things before you realize exactly what your heart wants. This challenge is interesting because it feels like you've really worked hard to get to this point where you are being presented with multiple opportunities. And I remember hearing a long time ago that choices are always a privilege. even if they're difficult and they lead to difficult decisions, they are always a privilege, because you'll always look back on times when you didn't have that many choices, or when the only choices you had were very limited. So I feel like this feels like a privilege to you, to be in a position where you could have multiple different things and they're all kind of wanting you as well. Let's clarify your theme and your challenge though. Spirit, clarify the Queen of Wands. Is there anything that I have missed with the Queen of Wands for group 3? Okay, we have the Six of Cups reversed, and they also want to show us the Hanged Man reversed. At the back of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like when it comes to your main theme, a lot of this Queen of Wands energy has to do with people relying on you as well. I think you're going to have a lot of people wanting your attention and wanting to feel gratified by your attention. With the Queen of Pentacles, I think that you are a highly prized sort of person. Well, I know you are, but if I'm channeling this energy, people see you as someone that has a lot of potential. You as a romantic love interest are seen as being responsible, reliable, a nurturer, a grower, someone who's self-sufficient. You may have your own financial abundance that you can bring to a partnership. You may also be a very sort of motherly person, or someone who comes across as being very like physically abundant. I think that people are very conventionally attracted to you. It's the kind of thing where as soon as you meet someone, the impression is like, wow, that's a high value person. You know, that's the vibe that I'm getting. Outside of that, the main theme seems to be bodying this energy for you, group 3, and really exhibiting these sorts of qualities within self. The Six of Cups is interesting. I think that some of you have had a recent glow up, or you're in a position where you may be putting yourself out there more, or people are noticing you, and people from your past are noticing you. This Six of Cups reversed is like people who have seen you from like a younger sort of age getting to see you kind of blossom into this high value person. And they're seeing it as like, wow, like I want to kind of come back into group 3's life, whether that's as a friend, as a more of like an active acquaintance, less of a voyeur though. So people from your past could be returning as part of like a full circle moment for you. This wholesome feeling of like, wow, like people are noticing that I've changed and it's positive. With the Hanged Man reverse though, I don't think you want all of this attention. I think you're torn. I think part of it is kind of cool, or it was in the beginning, but I think that you're at a point now, group 3, where you're just focused on you and yours. You know, you just want a very specific, deep, solid, reliable sense of connection. And I think the Hanged Man reverse is here because a big theme in your love life is that not all attention is good attention, and it's not even solicited in some instances. You may find that when it rains, it pours. You could be getting a lot of people kind of clued in on the fact that you're high vibrational and you're high value, and they're all kind of coming in and you don't want it, especially with the Hanged Man reverse. It's like you're trying to hold back. Your spirit's like, it's time to let go. It's time to get out there. Like, time to seize the day, seize the opportunities. And you're like, I'm not ready. I just want to hang back a little bit. I want to hang here. You're definitely more abundant than you want to be right now. You're more attractive than you want to be right now. That's what it feels like. You just want to try to dim to fit in, but Spirit's like, no, sweets, it's time to shine. So let's talk about your challenge. The Seven of Cups for group 3. How is this a challenge? We have the Hierophant coming out reversed. So the Seven of Cups is a challenge because you're trying to connect with, look at that Page of Pentacles at the back of the deck. You're trying to connect with your values and what you want from love. The problem is, especially if you're single, you may find it difficult to align with someone who's going to take you seriously for what you are and for what you want. Some of you may want an unorthodox style relationship because it suits your current lifestyle, it suits your goals, it suits your ambitions. You want someone who can be adaptable and changing to your pace. But instead, you could be confronted by people who want to take you more seriously than you want to take them. I think the problem here is trying to rebuild the structure of your love life. And whether you're single or in a relationship, you are being met with resistance. It feels like you may even be dealing with a younger energy or someone who is less experienced or less wise towards this notion, this idea. And this person is having a hard time kind of understanding what exactly you want in love. I think you may have cycled through a lot of suitors who are only looking for very specific things that don't really align with your individual goals, ambitions, wants, and needs. I can see how this Seven of Cups isn't so much confusion as it is just really annoying at times that you have so much to cycle through. You have so much attention, or you have so many different opportunities that it's kind of like, well, which one do I personally as group 3 take seriously? And which one is going to take me seriously? You guys may resonate as being the kind of people where people fall in love with the idea of you sometimes. They see you and they take you for face value, or they take you based on your public image or your kind of for how you're known instead of getting to know you. And I feel like a major challenge for you is finding someone who's going to take you for you and who's going to be able to align with what you want right now, which feels very broken down and restructured at the moment. It feels like a challenge here is about finding a connection that works for you. Is there anything else I'm missing with this challenge? We have the Ace of Swords reversed. You don't want to make the wrong mistake. You guys may have accidentally let people into your lives who you thought were going to adapt and who had a lot of potential to kind of fit what you wanted, and then they didn't follow through. They weren't able to body what they were saying. They weren't able to act upon what they promised. And so I feel like you are cautious about taking that action again and making a mistake, because the Ace of Swords is reversed. You don't want to just act impulsively and make a mistake here. So let's have a look at your energy towards your love interest right now. I'm just going to get a drink of water. I have a huge 3-liter / nearly a gallon of water here. Oh, I need to stay hydrated. I'm going to try to drink that whole thing by the end of today. I don't think it'll be hard. I think I can do it. With the Queen of Cups here in the reverse position, group 3, I feel like your energy towards your love interest is very apprehensive. You're trying not to get too deep into it. And that is applied to 2 different parts of your vessel. Intuitively, you're having your reservations. You don't want to read too heavily into their energy because you don't want to get too empathetically attached. And then feelings-wise, in terms of your heart space, you're also trying to be very cautious and careful and potentially guarded, because you don't want to reveal all your cards at once, whether you're dealing with a new love interest, an existing love interest, or someone who is yet to enter your life. It feels like your approach to love right now is very focused on self, on existing stable connections, and anything that comes through in a new way is being put through certain filters. It's not like you're putting them through tests. It's more that you're making sure that you don't go head over heels in the first instance. Is there anything else that you can tell them about their energy right now? Why is the Queen of Cups reversed? We have the Queen of Wands upright. Yeah, you know your worth. You know your value. You know how attractive you are. You know what you attract. And you're trying to be very selective and careful about revealing too much too soon. I think that you guys are in a position where you're getting some decent offers in love. You're getting to a point where you feel pretty confident about where your love life is headed, because you're not necessarily in control, but you're seeing how the universe is really providing for you here and pulling through some big fish. So I feel like you're confident that things will work out, but you're also trying not to read too far into it. Some of this is stemming from self-sabotage tendencies, but a lot of it is just being protective, more present, and less attached to the outcome. So let's have a look at your love interest energy now. Your primary love interest, because we know that this group has a few people interested, your primary love interest is the Knight of Cups. That tells me that this person has romantic intentions for you. They plan on taking action towards you, and they want to be more expressive in how they feel. This person's current energy is that they are very much in their feels. They are developing strong feelings-based actions towards you, and how they feel is really dictating the way that they act around you. This person has care towards you, and I feel like they have a connection to you already with this emotional sort of tie. Even though you're showing up as the Queen of Cups reversed, them being the Knight of Cups upright tells me that they have a feeling of fondness towards you based on something that they feel you both share. And I do think that this person is confident in how they feel, but keep in mind, a Knight of Cups isn't always the loudest voice in the room. I will be asking Spirit now how you can recognize this person, just in case you are dealing with multiple people. How can Group 3 recognize their primary love interest? Ooh. The back of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Situations with this person has changed recently. I feel like I need to get the other cards out, but I feel like this Five of Pentacles is more about a change in the connection, in that they've noticed that you've been more focused on self. They've noticed that you've been really putting a lot of energy into self. You've been taking care of yourself, keeping yourself busy, really focusing on your appearance. You look good. You look really good to this person. And they're feeling it. They're feeling like they need to kind of make more of an effort, or they will get left behind. They need to kind of keep up your level. Even if you're in a relationship with this person, Group 3, they feel like they need to keep up at your level. We have the King of Cups coming out. Yeah, this person cares about you a lot. They could be a water sign at this point. We have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We also have the Knight of Swords reversed. So this person feels like there are other people around you getting your attention. I'm seeing that they are actually concerned about an air sign, so it could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They're concerned about people who are very quick to act, where they may have taken their time. People who like slide in your DMs or just kind of approach you on the street, like impulsively reach out to you and connect with you. They're worried about those kinds of people causing challenges or just to taking your attention. I don't know. See, the King of Cups can be possessive at times. I don't know if this is jealousy though. I think it's just more about distractions. The way that you could recognize this person is in the past, they may have held back where others kind of stepped up and were like, hey, I'm here, like pick me. And this person might have been like, oh, like I'm just going to chill. I don't want to be impulsive. I don't want to rush this. And so you were kind of confused and like, why aren't you giving me as much attention as these strangers that I'm not interested in? We also have the Death card reversed. So I feel like the best way you can recognize this person is there could have been a perceived ending between the two of you recently. There could have been a situation in which Scorpio is coming out really strongly, by the way. There was a challenge that definitely caused a pause button moment that could have been an ending, but it wasn't. It kind of got to the point where there was needing to be separation, and you both had to kind of sort through what that meant for you individually. Someone could have felt very rejected by this process, could have felt like the other person was turning away from them, and there could have even been external forces kind of pushing you apart. Like this person could have had something happen to them that meant you two had to kind of spend some time apart. You could have had something happen to you. The Death card reversed is definitely a rebirth feeling though. It's not a permanent ending, but it is a pause, and it is a feeling of an ending at times, something shifting and transforming. So clarify their energy at the moment. The Five of Wands, this person feels threatened by competition around you. They definitely feel like they need to rise. I feel like this person is competing for your attention now. They may blow up your phone or be in your energy a lot now because they're picking up on the fact that you have a lot of people around you, Group 3. Is there anything else you can tell them? We have the Devil card. This person does feel possessive of you. They feel very attached to you. They also have this desire to gratify themselves with the energy of this connection. So listen, there's a strong sexual energy here with the Devil card, but there's also this feeling of attachment. And I think that if this person is seeing you as someone who is very detached, they're perceiving it as like, okay, well, I really need to come in hot and quickly. So what is this current shift in their energy? How do we get here? The King of Swords reversed. They regret their choices in the past. They regret their inaction, or they regret something they did or said that left you with the impression that they weren't as interested as they are. This love interest feels like they made the wrong decisions in the past, not based on selfishness, but they just didn't have the clearest judgment. And I feel like they're really beating themselves up because they think of themselves as someone who's more mature and in control. But this King of Swords reversed is like, I didn't do the right thing. Justice didn't help. Justice is reversed, so they got a win-lose outcome. You're winning, they're losing. And now that you're separated and they're trying to figure out a way forward. So let's have a look at the connection status right now, though, because this is where it gets a bit exciting. We have the Temperance card coming out for you upright. So your status of your connection right now is both of you are in alignment energetically. You're both feeding enough energy into yourselves to be able to helpfully contribute to the other's life. But that being said, the Temperance card is at its core a sense of union. I do want to elaborate what this means for your connection specifically, though, because intuitively I'm picking up on the fact that it would be very easy for the two of you to get back into each other's lives if you're in separation. But at the most, it feels like you're both in alignment in terms of what you want, in terms of how you see the other person, and in terms of how you see yourselves. And those are really the three key things in order for a connection to successfully move forward, because we can't always control the other variables and the other sort of possibilities. But as long as you're both confident in how you feel for the other, how you feel for yourselves, and what you want from the connection, I feel like you have the best chance at moving things forward positively. So what does this Temperance card mean for Group 3's connection to their primary love interest? Your primary love interest could also feel pressured by external opinions as well. Like some people could have been in this person's ear, kind of telling them what to do. And for better or for worse, it's prompted them to want to take more serious action towards you. Look at that, sweets. We have the Lovers card. Your love life with this person is very much about to take on a very serious element of a serious decision being made between the two of you. I feel like there's going to be a serious conversation at the very least. And at the most, you're going to be thinking more seriously about who this person is, what they mean for you, and what kind of future you want with them. I can see things really becoming more realized and actualized between the two of you, in the sense of you are going to kind of make it more obvious how much the other person means to you. And I feel like this is mostly for someone who doubted the other person's intentions. It feels like they're going to be more obvious now in how they show you what they mean, because they're not wanting to just kind of leave it up to fate or wait and wait and wait. They want to kind of make sure that you know right here, right now. So, and there are deep feelings here. It just feels like you're having to be very careful and protect yourself. So what is your advice overall? We have the Three of Swords. Your Three of Swords as the advice card is to be very clear about your thoughts and to use every opportunity in the future / in your present to communicate your thoughts on this connection with this person, even if it hurts, even if the truth is hurtful and there are still pains based on what had happened previously with this Death card reversed, even if there are still pains based on this person's choices in the recent past or in the long-term past. It's very much about having difficult conversations regardless of how painful they are, because that's the only way we can move forward. We need to be honest about how we feel. We need to be honest about the things that are on our mind, and we need to be honest about what is bothering us so that we can work through that uncomfortable pain instead of letting it persist passively. That will only lead to an inevitable tower moment in which we're building this connection off of a lie, and the foundation can never be strong. So your advice is to have these difficult conversations, confront your truths, talk about what's on your mind, talk about those difficult feelings so that this connection has the best possible chance moving forward. Is there any other advice in their love life in general Spirit's saying don't be afraid to say no too, especially with the Seven of Cups. Don't be afraid to say no. If you need time to process your feelings, give yourself that time, because you can't accurately make a decision until you know exactly what you want. Seven of Cups reversed. Yeah, literally, that's everything I was channeling. I do think that your love life in general is about you finding exactly what your heart wants and not getting too confused by everything else. I don't think I need to say that to you. I feel like a lot of you have deciphered the noise, the distractions, and the attention to the point where you just want a very specific thing, and you can have that very specific thing. You've just got to be very clear with yourself so that you can communicate that with the one that you want as well. At the back of the deck, we have the Page of Wands. So giddy up, saddle up, Buttercup. You're about to get on a new journey in love, which will be very exciting, passionate, and it will gain a lot more experience. You'll also have the ability to gain more perspective on who you are as a person through this next journey in love. You're going to feel a bit like the apprentice again, the student, instead of the master, as you realize that there is so much more color in life when you go through those experiences with a companion, with someone who feels like they were meant to be there with you. I can also see the Page of Wands as sexual exploration, so that's exciting. But outside of that, you guys may even be moving because of this love interest. You may be developing new interests, new hobbies, new lifestyle trends because of this love interest. So it is very exciting, and it will lead to a lot of small changes that create a bigger, different picture. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 3. I'm going to take your reading into the extended now, where we will be looking at whether this connection is in your best interest, specifically focusing on your person's intentions, their feelings for you, and their fears towards this connection. We're going to get channeled messages from them as well, and we will get advice for you. So if this part of your reading did resonate and you do want to extend it, the link to your extended reading is in the description box. All extended readings are on my website, so you're more than welcome to check that out there. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me right here on YouTube. I appreciate all your time, your energy, and your support. I hope this reading was helpful and resonated, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Bye!